Hi there, my name is Aliyah Salah, and I'm here to give you Astro Insights. So there's something really cool that's happening right now, and you might have heard about it or not, but it's a super lunar eclipse full moon, and it's happening this 15th of May if you're in the European continent, and if you're here in the United States, at least in the Pacific time, it is on the 16th at 9:13 p.m. So this is an important full moon because it's got a lot of energy to give us. And what's cool is there's been a lot of energy of planets that are moving the energy towards this full moon to help us. So the first thing we had was that Jupiter was in Pisces with Neptune. And both of them in Pisces, they're kind of just the Neptune energy, it's kind of goddess, very yin energy, has been really wonderful. Well, it was for a while, but then it changed today. Today, it's when Jupiter went into Aries. So Aries is a little different energy than the Piscean energy. So we're back again at the Zodiac. It's the first sign of the Zodiac, and it's also very much about exploring, being a pioneer, innovation. So if you have a project that you've had in your back burner and you're like, you know what, I think that it would actually be more appropriate now for me to take this out and start seeing how I can get it moving again. Well, this is a really good time because that Jupiter in Aries is going to help you to move it forwards. And it's an interesting thing the way that these planets move, because they don't just move, where they go in and then they're in. No, they actually go in and then they go retrograde and they might go out of the sign and then they go direct again and they go back. And you're asking, why do they do this? Well, I have my own theory about this, and that's that oftentimes I've wanted something to happen and it just wasn't time yet. So I wondered, when is the time going to be, right? When am I going to finally get to do this thing that I want to do? So what I'm finding is that this time before something happens is more preparation time. And when you take the time to do a little bit more preparation, when it does finally happen, you'll be so much more ready for it. So that's what's happening with these planets as well. So as I said, that Jupiter today went into Aries. So it's going to stay in Aries. It's going to go retrograde on July 28th. And then it's going to go back into Pisces on October 28th. And it's going to continue in Pisces, and that's when it's going to go direct. So it's going to go direct on November 23rd. So that's when it goes direct, but still in Pisces. And then, on December 20th is when Jupiter will be in Aries for the final time and move forward in Aries. So that's kind of like the rhythm of this cycle that's happening, this energy that's coming forth from Jupiter, which is a lot of education, self-growth, expansion, but it also can be self-indulgent if you're, pushing too much in that direction. So be aware that it's there to help you to move things forward that you care about that maybe have been in the back burner, because this amazing moon is really there to help us. But there is one other thing I wanted to tell you about, and that's that today Mercury went retrograde. So that's another thing about it going backwards to go forwards. And you may have heard of Mercury retrograde before. A lot of people say it like, oh, and Mercury was retrograde, and they don't like Mercury retrograde. But it's not a bad thing. It's a, time when linear things like contracts or agreements or, those kinds of things, they might get kind of spiraled around so that it's not what you planned. And I found that for me, going back over things that maybe will help me to communicate better when it goes direct, it's not a bad idea. So it's going to be a incredible experience for this one. It's going to be 3 weeks and then we're back in direct. So it's not for too long, but it's very important that you understand that if things start going weird and you're like, what is going on? It might be Mercury retrograde. So it's mainly pertaining to communication, like I said, contracts and things like that that have to do with communication, because it's Mercury and that's the planet of communication. So as far as what you're doing on this moon, plan at this point. You've got Jupiter in Aries giving you momentum and pushing you on towards this full moon. It's really a time for you to purge what doesn't need to be in your field anymore, anything that might be dragging you down, so that when this happens, this full moon is able to just fill you up with energy so that you can move those various projects or relationships, because it is in Scorpio, forward. So a Scorpio full moon is rather intense. Scorpio is the sign of the scorpion, but also I like it to be the Phoenix bird. That's another symbol that's also for Scorpio. And I really like it because I love the idea of coming up from the ashes and just, huge bird, this beautiful bird, this Phoenix bird just taking flight. So it's time for us to think about those kinds of projects in our life that we've really, really wanted to, but it just wasn't time to. So perhaps now it's time to revisit that and see how it can serve your situation and the people around you. So remember that you have more energy on the full moon. So that evening, on the 16th, if you're in the United States, and if you're in Europe, it's the 15th, but you have that time to really expand your horizons in that arena. So spend time to meditate or, whatever it is, if you like going in beautiful nature walks or whatever it is that you celebrate yourself with this new energy that you're going to have. The Jupiter in Aries is going to give you some energy. This full moon is going to give you some illumination and some inspiration to move forward, the things that really do matter to you, but maybe have not been the right time yet. So I'm praying that was a good session for you on these Astro Insights, and know that I'm going to be here doing full moons and new moons and do what I can when there's specials that happen. I just did one on Johnny and Amber, and I'm trying to not say anything about who did it or who's right as much as their relationships to understand them astrologically. So go ahead and check that. And I have some other ones that I'm going to be doing in the future. If there's anything that you want, a topic that you want, please go ahead and put it in the comments, and I'll add that to some of the things that I'll be talking about. The last thing I'd like to tell you is that I've made my own tarot deck, Transparenting Tarot, and you can go to transparenting.net/tarot and have a free 24/7 tarot reading where you pick the cards, not the computer. And if you put your email address, a reading will go to you and to me. And if you put your astrology information, your birth time, day, and place, then I will add in some of your personal astrology for that reading as well. It's just a mini reading for you to get acclimated to the work I do. And let me know if you're interested in an authentic life reading, where I work a lot with authentic child imagery and healing authentic child trauma, and do that through astrology. And I also have authentic life tools for follow-ups to the readings. so that it can be a whole experience of transformation. Well, blessings to you. Thank you for taking the time to stop by, and I look forward to connecting again with Astro Insights. Take care. Peace.